What up, guys? It's me, GamerGuyTV here. Now, if you notice, this is not the traditional holiday special. This is another thing like the Bay Trip, where I don't really have a lot of photos, so I can't make like a slideshow, but there aren't many games centered around Thanksgiving. There are plenty centered around Christmas and Hanukkah and all of those holidays, but there are hardly any centered around Thanksgiving. And I found a coloring page. I tried to do a time-lapse thing, but it didn't quite work. So this is me just talking into a camera once again. You guys don't see the actual camera video, you guys just hear the audio from it. And the reason for that is I'm trying to get myself comfortable talking to a camera, because I might need to do that for school within the next couple years. And honestly, a lot of my friends have vlogging channels now. For those who don't know what vlogging is, it's essentially a video log or a video blog, or something like that. Essentially, Bay Trip would have been the best example of this. One of my friends brought a GoPro, and she made sure she had an SD card that had like a bunch of storage on it, and they had the camera unit itself, but they also had a little, not like an actual selfie stick, but they had like a 4-inch one that they could hold, and they vlogged half of it. Not half of it, all of it. And they essentially had it in selfie mode, and they were walking around talking, and they could flip it around, or there's no such thing as selfie mode, you just hold the camera lens towards you, and then you flip it around and show sights and stuff with your commentary and stuff like that. It's essentially a video log or a video blog. But that means that I have to be in frame, and I don't want to do that yet on my own. You know, I might appear in one of my friends' vlogs for like a second or two, and that's, you know, fine. But I don't want to go around showing my face to the internet. I've showed my voice. People could identify me by that if they went through a voice recognition software. There are infinite ways that people could identify me by my face. But I'm just not comfortable showing my face on camera, and my family isn't comfortable with me doing that either, so I don't really have much of a choice there. But anyway, back to Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving means something different to everyone, but the overall history is the same. So Thanksgiving is celebrated because of the first dinner that the Pilgrims had in the New World. It was originally in October, and it lasted at least 3 days. It was attended by 90 Native Americans and 53 Pilgrims. So yeah, I don't know much history here, but essentially when Columbus and his crew came over to America, they settled in and then had a dinner with the Native Americans and the Pilgrims. It apparently lasted 3 days. And the first Thanksgiving was in October of 1621. So in 2 years, we will have the 300th Thanksgiving. Now, that's the overall history of it. The way it's celebrated is very different depending on the family and depending on the culture. I only know how my family celebrates. I know there is a nationwide parade that happens in New York City. It's called the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It is incredible. Highly recommend you watch it. Not sponsored, by the way. But my family generally gets together and has Thanksgiving dinner at my grandparents' house. This year we're going to my aunt's house for something different. And yeah, last Thanksgiving was hard, and this Thanksgiving it is even harder. Yes, I'm going to take this here, and my apologies for my mom's side of the family that's watching this. Don't cry. Last Thanksgiving was hard because, you know, we still had my great-grandmother around, but she was going downhill quickly, and that's when I started to realize it. I went to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade with her, and it was me, my mom, my grandfather, my grandmother, my great-grandfather, and my aunt. Different aunt that I'm going to Thanksgiving dinner with. And they went to get my great-grandmother, and she didn't really recognize a lot of them. She could tell the face, but she was having trouble placing the name. And as soon as she saw me, her face lit up, her body posture became more happy. I don't know the right words there. But she instantly recognized me, pointed at me, and went, "I know you." And when my great-grandmother passed in January, my mom and I both remembered that and both sort of laughed and cried at the same time. And I think we will always remember that. And today is a harder day than last year because we don't have my great-grandmother around. And, you know, we've sort of all gotten over it by now. But holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas will be even harder. It just doesn't feel right without her, if that makes sense to all of you. You know, I've always had her around. My mom's side of the family has always had her around. This is the first year that we don't have her around. And it's just gonna be hard. But we'll get through it. We can distract ourselves from it. Very easily recover. So anyway, guys, I just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that all of you have a great Thanksgiving. And people my age, I challenge us to get off our phones and actually talk to people at Thanksgiving dinner. You know, so many teenagers are addicted to their phones, and I argue that we're not, but we kind of are. And I just think we should get off the phone. The phone will be there infinitely. And you could say that it could break, or we could get a new one, but it's the same metaphorical thing. Or as technology will be there forever, and family won't. But yeah, everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. Another way that it's celebrated is there are local gyms that do a thing called a turkey trot. And what that is it's a 5K on Thanksgiving morning. I used to do it up until like 3 years ago, and then I got tired of doing it. I was never much of a 5K person, or I was never much of a jogger or a runner or whatever you want to call them. I was always the tennis type. I was always the exercise through something that's not just running. That's why I don't do cross country. That's why I don't do track. I might end up in track this year because of complications. My family knows about them. I'm not ready to talk about them to the camera quite yet. But, and, you know, anyway, just happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.